I met former President Goodluck Jonathan on the 28th of May 2019. How to deepen the roots of democracy in Nigeria was the dominant theme of our conversation that day.
We must aim at electronic voting. The fear today all over the world is that even if those who do online transaction and so on, there's always fear that some smart boys will hack into your system and change figures. That fear is there. But even as at that, people still do use financial transactions online. So I don't think because of that fear, we should not aim at. And the technology is improving. I believe at a time we must get the technology that will be difficult for you to manipulate. And even if you will manipulate, there must be backup, because that is the good thing about technology and voting. You will have the backup. So if people feel that it has been manipulated, you use the backup to cross-check. That is where African countries must aim at.
Over the years, Dr. Jonathan has maintained the advocacy for the use of electronic voting in the electoral system of the country. This was put to the test on the 30th of April this year, when the leadership of the Ijaw National Congress was chosen via electronic voting, a process which allowed the Ijaws in diaspora to participate in the exercise.
For the first time in the history of the Ijaw National Congress, and indeed in the history of Nigeria, electronic voting was adopted. And in spite of all the fears and suspicions, we ended up to produce an acceptable, legitimate executive committee of the INC.
The hornet's nest was stirred by the purported removal of a section bearing the electronic transmission of votes in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. But that has been refuted by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila. But how crucial is that section to deepening democracy in the country?
This is a democratic innovation that will really market our democracy as one of the best in the world, because over time, results coming from the polls have always been shrouded in doubts. Third-party hijack of results were always commonplace. But if voting will be done by electronic means and the release of results will be done in the same manner, I think that it will be much more acceptable.
The National Assembly is expected to pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill in about 2 weeks' time. Ovieteme George, Arise News.